Hello everyone, welcome to AV Atmos. Let's talk about the LG V60 and the LG V series basically, and as well as the Blon BL-03, the most popular IEM in the world basically. Now, a lot of times people do ask these questions. I know they haven't really been asking me this, but they go around asking what is the importance of a quad DAC in LG devices, in LG phones. Now, the LG you're seeing on screen right now is the LG V30 Plus. This is a flagship from 2017 from LG, and this is my home screen. I haven't gotten my hands on the V60 yet. It just came out. It's not really everywhere yet. It's only in the US right now, T-Mobile network, so it's not really everywhere worldwide yet. But in a few months it should be in circulation, and I hope to get my hands on the V60. But this is the V30, and I'm making reference to the V60 in this video discussion that I'm having right now. The quad DACs in most LG devices serve one purpose, and that is to take any audio signal and process it and give you a cleaner signal with less messy sound. Generally, like, it gives you clean sound, and more or less most times you get songs that or tracks that are not that very good, but you are not in the position to get the very best out of the song when you have a digital to analog converter. Whatsoever device you're using, whether it's a USB dongle or what is inbuilt in the device, if it's a good DAC, you will be able to get better sound quality from whatever it is you are playing, hands down, period. Now, the LG quad DACs, a lot of reviewers skip on the LG quad DACs. They don't really talk about the LG quad DACs that much, and I'm now going to be talking about the V60. Now, the V60 quad DACs, they haven't really labeled the particular model that will be in the quad that will be in the V60. They've not really said the particular model of DAC that will be in the V60, because right now the quad DAC in this V30 is the ESS SIVGA 9218 series. So there are about 4 of those in this device, the V30 Plus, and it makes a difference, guys. Going through my old albums, it's very clear, guys. It's just very clear. It's night and day. When you deactivate the DAC in here, it shows sound gets a little bit crummy, and it doesn't really have that detail as when you have it on. Now, there are some of my favorite tracks that shine on the LG V series phones, and that is even what I'm gonna go into, which is the new album from the Weeknd. The After Hours album, which was the highlight of this guy's career recently. So I'm gonna be doing a review for the Weeknd in this video, but what I'm gonna get to is the fact that you need the LG V60 to get the very best of sound performance from your IEMs, in quotes, the Blon BL-03, especially if you want to buy an affordable in-ear monitor that wouldn't cost you so much. And guys, I've actually changed out the tips for the Blon. I'm now using silicone tips. This is the silicone tips that came with the SIVGAs. So the SIVGAs I'm now using the original tips from the SIVGA because I found out that it was so good. It really is night and day. The sound quality on the Blons now is incredible. Soundstage increased a bit. The bass is now tighter, clean mids, much more pronounced highs. Now I can now see the reason why some people like silicon tips over memory foam, even though it's not really a popular thing people go for. But there is some advantage to silicon tips over memory foam, and that is the increased definition of treble and your mids. It brings it out, while memory foam increases bass performance. But one thing is that the Blons do not, I repeat, do not need memory foams. It benefits from it because it gives you more bass. I tried it with the memory foam, but I realized that the bass was too boomy and overbearing. Even though I'm a bass head, I still like my bass clean and impactful and detailed. So I wasn't really too happy with the memory foam, so I decided, you know what, let me change it out with the SIVGA tips and see whether it's even going to sound half decent as the memory foam. And lo and behold, it not only sounded more than decent, it actually blew away the memory foams that I had on it. And honestly, this would now be the permanent tips for the Blons. Now granted, these tips is not being sold separately. You can buy spin fits, but as for me, I am fine with the SIVGA tips. I don't know what they did with these tips, but these tips are very, very special. It was incredibly beautiful just to listen to songs with this. And in fact, the siblings I used to get in some of the higher frequency with the memory foam and its own stock tips, silicon tips, were just gone. It's almost like I just bought a new set of Blons, a much more customized version, and I'm not joking. The SIVGA tips is incredible. And I've listened to the SIVGA tips on the SIVGAs. The thing is, the SIVGA earphones are bright. So what this tips does is that it takes a dark sounding Blons and makes it bright. So a set like the Blons will on a normal day sounds warm, a little bit not so resolving, but still good. With this tips, it brings out the highs, makes it more brighter, more smoother in the mids, and it starts sounding very, very good. Now in terms of using the LG V60 with the Blons, there is a 3D engine in the V60, and it will be able to enhance the performance of the Blons, especially if you have an amplifier that you're using with the Blons. As you can see, I have a permanent amplifier from Topping that I have hooked up to the Blons. It's permanent now, so the Blons will not be used without it. It's just permanent. They work together. It's just the way it is. So the 3D engine and Quad DAC in the V60 will be able to give you the best performance because it will customize sound to what you are listening to. If you're listening to a podcast or YouTube videos, you just probably get I think there are 3 modes on it. It will just change from movies to music to TV. It's gonna just alternate between those 3 presettings while you are watching the content. It will determine using AI because the 3D surround engine in the Quad DAC customized by LG would determine what you're watching and customize the sound to sound the best. But the LG V30 can only allow you to set the standard of the sound you want. So I have mine set to enhanced in the Quad DAC section, and it is good for what it is, and I don't have a problem with the sound that I'm getting with the LG V30 Plus. It sounds incredible, and using it with the HiBi music app, it sounds just phenomenal. Now let me just quickly review the brand new album from The Weeknd, and this is listening to it on FLAC, playing it off the amplifier, the topping amplifier, and the Blon. And what you're gonna expect with quality sound from a resolving smartphone that has Quad DACs, like the V60 or the V30 or whatever V series of the LG that you have, with the Blons and a good amplifier. Now I will advise, do not run the Blon straight off the LG series phones. Now the LG phones have an inbuilt amp that to a degree can perform well, but I do not recommend it because they do not sound as powerful as using a dedicated amplifier. Trust me, I've done the experiment. It's just night and day. That's not to say that the LG phones don't sound great, but there is a power shift when you add an amplifier to a Quad DAC. It's just incredible. Like the sound is not just only full, but then it has this attack and bite and meaty presence that you need, especially for you to enjoy the content you are listening to at that point in time. So make sure you consider buying an amplifier with your IEM, at least your favorite IEM. I will be getting one of my most favorite IEMs that I've seen people review, but there is one that I would get probably in a few months. I'm looking at that IEM. It's a little bit on the higher side of things, but I think I like the brand. They are very good. I would show you guys the IEMs once I get it. I don't really want to call the model name just not to get you guys hopes up, but it's really a good set. So The Weeknd's new album is okay, not as good as his last album from 2016, which is by far the best album he has released till date, which is his Starboy album. Starboy album is still his best till date. Now granted, I'm a pop guy. I like pop music a lot, but this particular album goes back to his original dark R&B roots with a bit of pop. Now my favorite tracks from the album is Heartless, which is the number one. I really like Fate. I like Fate. I love Blinding Lights, and I love the new song he just released a video for today, actually yesterday, because we're already in a new day, and that is In Your Eyes. These are my 4 favorite tracks on the album. The other tracks on the album are just okay, nothing really special from those other tracks for me. They are just fine, but I feel that The Weeknd tried to appeal to many fans in this album. He didn't really try to stay in one lane. He did a little bit of rap beats on Heartless. He did a little bit of R&B, and like 70% of his songs on this album, from Alone Again, Too Late, Hardest to Love, most of those songs are R&B, and that doesn't really cut it in my library because I'm not an R&B guy. I just don't like R&B that much. I think R&B is too boring for my liking, and he went back to his original roots, but it's not bad. It's not bad. I was hoping for him to follow the same Starboy trend, still make his funky dark pop vibe vibe songs that he used to release a few years back. So I really wasn't digging the new album because he just kind of like went back to his initial roots of R&B, infusing a bit of pop, because some of the songs are pop, like songs like Blinded by the Light in Your Arms, and we could argue Fate is as well pop. So those pop songs on this album were fantastic for me, especially with the beat and the production surrounding them. But the ones that are more or less R&B focused, I just didn't find those ones interesting. And yeah, guys, that is it. Sorry, video has been long, so I'm gonna end this right now. If you like the Blons, follow our link in the description. I will leave the Blons with some tips that you probably need to buy. If you want the SIVGA tips like I have here, you probably have to buy a set of the M009, which I have in house. You can use the tips on it and use it with the Blons, and they sound phenomenal. In fact, it's just crazy how good it sounds. And I'm using the biggest tip, and it fits my ears. It just covers. The seal is incredible, and it's not as painful as the memory foam. The memory foam used to fatigue me, but I found out that the silicons are just beautiful. They do not give me any ear fatigue. So guys, this is all I have for you today. Subscribe to our channel, like our content, and I'll see you guys next time.